and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mary Rocha. I am a professional pet stylist located at Pet Suites here in Harriman, Utah. My certifications is I now have officially 3 years of grooming experience and many more to come. I'm certified in AKC SAFE, AKC PCG, PGC, Professional Grooming Credential is what it stands for. I always mix that one up. And then also K9 First Aid and CPR. Also, I'm sorry if you hear a little like fountain watery sounds. My dog's water bowl is literally sitting right next to me, so you might hear that in the background. Oh, and Chani's waking up from her nap, so might hear her as well. We'll see. But anyways, today we are here to talk about anal glands, and this is our next core care video. Anal glands is probably the thing that I get questioned about most as a dog groomer, besides like the haircut itself. A lot of people hear about anal glands or they smell something kind of fishy around their house and they run to the groomer to immediately have us express them, when that's not always exactly the case. So we're going to go over them in a lot of detail today, and then at the end we will have a little demonstration because you can't express anal glands at home. Personally, I wouldn't love to do it at my house because they do, squirt out and it's a very gross smell. It's very fishy. Whereas if you do it, your groomer does it, usually we do it in a tub or we do it where we can easily clean it up, and then your dog is clean. So that's my personal recommendation. But anyways, we'll have a little demo with BB towards the end of this video. Okay, so first of all, we will start off with what are anal glands. Now, as it sounds, it's two glands located in your dog's anus. We will be talking a lot about butts today and buttholes and anuses, so if any of that is triggering, you can skip this video. But we will have a lot of discussion around your dog's butt. Anyways, they are two glands located in your dog's anus, which is your dog's butthole, if you didn't know that. And it's like hormones cause secretions in the glands. When they're expressed, like I said, they do smell very fishy. At least most dogs do. There are a couple where it's like, it's pungent and it's bad. But most of them will smell fishy. So nice. Originally, wolves used these to mark their territory, along with, urinating or peeing on things. And so that is kind of why they're around, as it was used as a territory marker and a deterrent to other packs or animals in the area. So now that we know what they are, now we need to know when and why do we need to express them. Now, expressing anal glands is how the scent juices, essentially, the secretions get out of your dog. If they stay in there, they can clog up, which is not good. So they do have to be expressed. So most dogs actually express their anal glands naturally when they poop. And so sometimes your dog's poop will smell kind of funny, or a lot of times if you watch your dog poop, I always do so that I know when to go pick it up. But once they're done, a lot of the times you'll see a little bit of liquid coming out. That's usually their anal glands. If it's outside, you probably won't really smell it very much because it's also outdoors and there's a lot of other smells around. But most dogs do just naturally express it when they poop. However, dogs that have been bred down very small, most of the breeds that I have seen that need it are especially your toys and smaller, so like toy poodles, like Shih Tzus and Yorkies, some of those like really smaller toy dogs, even sometimes Pomeranians. A lot of those dogs do need them expressed manually or by a person. And sometimes I even see it in miniature dogs, that they need it. So like mini poodles, a lot of like the mini doodles, a lot of times will need it. But yeah, and the reason for this is as we bred the dogs down, those muscles became underdeveloped actually. And so they cannot squeeze the glands as they're pooping successfully to express them. So like I said before, it can cause them to clog, and that is not very good. And so we have to express them manually. Older dogs also can need them because sometimes the muscles deteriorate a little bit as, just your dog gets older. It happens to humans too. Human muscles start to deteriorate as we get older, same with dogs. So sometimes you'll see it in your older dogs too. Yes. The one thing though about expressing anal glands, and this is why I don't recommend it for dogs that aren't showing certain signs, which we'll go over, is once you start manually expressing anal glands, you need to keep it up. And the reason for this is because it causes the dog to not properly use those muscles, and also break down those muscles as well. And so, I mean, it's like us humans again, if you're not using a muscle, for example, I used to play soccer, so I had, all the running stamina in the world. I stopped playing soccer, haven't played it for like 10 years now, and yeah, I cannot run, I could run a mile, but it would not be fun, whereas I used to be able to run, hours on end, because I didn't use those muscles. Same thing with your dog. If you have them stop using those muscles to express their anal glands, then they will stop, their body will stop, fueling those muscles essentially and cause them to deteriorate. However, most anal gland services can be done as a walk-in service, or you can just schedule it with your regular grooming appointments. Most dogs should be fine getting them done every 3 to 4 weeks, so you can do it with their nail trim. Some of them you can stretch to 6 to 8, but you just want to be a little more careful with that. So yes. Yeah, and then the signs that you want to watch for is if your dog is scooting on the butt. And my old dog Riley, may she rest in peace, she used to do this all the time, and we just thought it was funny. We're like, haha, she's scooting on the butt. We thought it was just because, her butt was itchy or something. I don't know. You don't know anything as a first-time dog owner, especially if you were like us, even though we did try very hard. And I thought I was well-researched. Clearly not, though. But scooting on the butt, it's not because they have a, itchy butt or they're trying to, smear poop all over your rug. It's because their anal glands are full and need to be expressed. A lot of times too, licking the butt area excessively. This one you do want to be a little more careful with, because Johnny, for instance, she loves to keep herself very clean, especially after going to the bathroom. So we know what is normal for her and what would be excessive, just because we've spent a lot of time with her. So it's hard to say if your dog, licks itself every single time you go outside, that can be seen as normal, whereas some dogs, that might be seen as abnormal. So just whatever is excessive to your dog. The other thing too is if the vet tells you to. Some dogs have a condition or a health disease that causes their anal glands to need to be expressed manually. Yes, and then when you do start manually expressing them, like I said, you do need to start doing it on a regular basis so that they don't clog. So like I said, usually once a month. For BB needs hers expressed regularly because she did not properly develop those muscles as a puppy. She's we call her our true rescue dog. Her past owners unfortunately neglected her when she was a puppy, and she had a big growth stint. So she's very, very tiny for her breed, but she's in good health now. She's actually a little chunky, so we're working on slimming her back down to her, a little more athletic build. But she does have to have her anal glands expressed. I do it every 2 weeks when we do the girls' baths. They're not always full, but I can usually get it out. But you do just want to be doing it on a regular basis so they don't clog up. All right. Now we are going to go over the different types of anal gland expression. There are 2 types, for those of you that don't know. There is internal and there is external. And I'm going to see real quick, scoot over. That way I can have, when I edit, a list on both sides, just so that you guys can easily see the differences. Okay, so internal, I'll have over here, external over here. So internal. Only vets can do this. The vet will go inside your dog's butt and express them. I don't know how they do it. I just know they go inside and I'm assuming they squeeze from in there or kind of coax it out. But they go in and they express the anal glands. If the groomer or yourself cannot express them externally, you will be directed to go to your vet to do it internally. It is more effective, but because the vet is doing it, just like with nail trims, a lot of times it can be more expensive. And sometimes I've heard uncomfortable. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me, so I assume my dog wouldn't want it either. All right, and then we're gonna go over external, and this is the kind that I know how to do. So external, you squeeze the glands from the outside. Yes, you can feel them if you position your fingers and hands in the right way. Groomers and owners can safely do this as long as you're following very safe precautions. You always want to make sure when you're doing this, and I will highlight this multiple times, you squeeze gently and you listen to your dog. If your dog, like obviously it's going to be uncomfortable. I'll talk about this a little bit more too, but if they're like, you know, it's very, very uncomfortable for them clearly, or they're starting to like bite or whatever back there because of pain, please stop. Don't continue. We would rather your dog be safe than get their anal glands expressed. So yeah, those are the two different types. One, again, done by groomers, the other done by vets. One is inside your dog and one is outside your dog. Pretty easy. Pretty self-explanatory. All right. So now I will go over how to express anal glands externally, and then I'll show a little demo with BB, and then we're going to go over a couple other just kind of cautionary things that can happen with anal glands. Okay, so you're going to think of your dog's anus, so the dog's butthole, so right here, as like a clock. Just pretend this is the butthole. And underneath, if you come underneath and you kind of lightly pinch and lightly poke, you will feel essentially 2 sacs if the anal glands are full. Usually they're around like 5 or 7 o'clock is where you can feel kind of the bottom of them. To express them, you very gently will press inward and upward. And again, I'll show it on BB so that you can see it on a dog as well. But you press inward and upward, and you want to go up until, you know, they start to express. Generally, you don't want to go higher than 10 and 2 o'clock on the little clock of your dog's butthole. But yes, you also, when you feel the anal glands, they will feel like 2 little like sacs or orbs in there. It feels kind of weird at first, but you get used to it. It's like, you know, it's like going to the bathroom. You have to clean up after yourself. Kind of the same thing. You gotta clean up after your dog. But yeah. And so that's what they feel like. That's how you express them. Again, very gently squeeze. You never want to push your dog past where they're uncomfortable. Obviously, anybody touching the butt area is not fun for your dog, and they are going to probably be a little curious, but they should not be in pain when this is done. So just, you know, read your dog very carefully. And if you're nervous, take them to a groomer. We'll happily do them for you. That's why we get paid to do this. So yes, now we will go to Pet Suites. I will be doing this in the bathtub there because, again, very easy to rinse down. If I know that a pet parent is doing anal glands for their dog during that groom, I will do them in the bathtub. If they add it on later, then obviously there's ways I have to clean that up and keep your dog smelling nice and fresh. But I do like to do it in the bathtub because then you can just rinse it down, rinse the dog off, and then you're done. And then your dog goes home clean and healthy. And then I don't have to smell it anymore, so that's good. Okay, so off to BB, and we will see you when we get back. All right, hello and welcome to my work. Sorry, I'm like off camera here. Odd camera angle, but that's because we're going to be expressing BB's anal glands today. So we're in our tub here at Pet Suites. I always like to do anal glands in a tub or in a very, very easy to clean place because they will get everywhere. So I usually do this before the bath or once I've rinsed the dog down. But you're going to hold their little tail up and find their butthole. There's BB's butthole right there. And right here I am pinching right at about, 5 and 7. And I can feel them. There's 2 little sacs right here. Yeah, you can't feel them. They are pretty full. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze in gently and up. And then you'll see the anal gland will squirt out. So ready? We're going to go in and up. And there it goes. Yep, all over the hand. BB's is a little bit thicker. And it is nice and pungent. Make sure we got all of it. We did. Good job, baby. Yep, and it's all over. It gets everywhere. So that's why I like to be in a place where I can easily clean the dog up and myself up. So we will just then spray it off. Spray it off a BB. There we go. And that is how you do anal glands. Not very hard. Again, baby is used to them because we do them usually about every 2 weeks to a month. We usually don't go longer than that without her anal glands being done. So she is pretty used to it. The first couple of times you do it on a dog, they will be a little jumpy and curious, and they're just wondering what you're doing with their butt. And yeah, but once you get it, the first couple of times that you do it too as a person, it can be a little like difficult and weird because you're trying to figure it out. But once you get it, you get it, you understand it. But yeah, that is how you do anal glands. Hopefully that was a very good demo. It looks like the camera caught most of it, so that is good. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, and we will see you back at my house with editing Mary. All right, welcome back from being with BB and seeing how we express her anal glands. Her anal gland color, I'll go over anal gland color, sorry, tongue twister, in a second. But hers has actually like darkened over time. We did mention this to her vet, and the vet says that it should be just fine unless she's showing any other signs. Okay, so now we're gonna go over some other things. So successful anal gland expression usually looks like a brown liquid. Usually it's light brown. And it's going to squirt out, so just be prepared to clean it up. It doesn't gracefully fall out. No, it squirts. So just be careful about that, especially if you're doing it at home. It can also look like a dark brown sludge. I've seen almost like putty coming out. That's the stuff that smells really bad. Surprisingly, it's not the liquid, it's the putty that smells bad. If your dog's anal gland expression or the secretion is a very dark color or is very thick in consistency, you will want to tell your vet. There is a possibility it could be an underlying symptom of something. I have heard like liver problems from certain vets and other experts. But again, I'm not a medical vet or expert on that. I just know what looks healthy and what doesn't. I always tell my pet parents if it looks weird, I will tell them just to mention it to their vet at their next appointment. Generally, from what I've heard though, it's not something you need to like rush to your vet to get checked out. It's just something like if there's a new mole on your dog, you can just mention the next time you're in. The other thing too is if nothing comes out, and you're like all the way up to 10 and 2, stop squeezing. Don't keep going. Don't like dig into the butt or anything because you can push back there quite a bit. Just stop. Especially too if it's feeling like blocked or stuck, because that could potentially lead to an anal gland rupture, which we do not like. But if that's the case, I would take them to a groomer instead. We do a lot of these, and so especially too if it's your first time doing it or like your dog is like having a weird expression and you've done it a lot, take it to a groomer. We can see if there's anything else we can do, and if not, we will direct you to a vet. I am someone too where if I cannot get any anal gland expression to come out or the anal glands to express, I will not charge for the service. However, if I do get stuff to come out, I do charge the $14 for the service. Most groomers operate that way, but you will probably just want to check to make sure. I know because I did work at PetSmart, they're very much if we can't complete the service, we won't charge for it. So that's always a place you can go if you're unsure. But yeah, same with me. I don't charge for a service if I can't complete it 100%. The other thing too, if there is any blood, stop and immediately go to your vet. It probably means there's a rupture, or there's something weird going on with your dog's butt and you want that checked out because that's kind of important. And then like I said before, anal gland expressions and expressing them can be uncomfortable for your dog. Most dogs will like turn and look because they're like, what are you doing holding my butt in a weird way? I mean, I'd be the same way. Yeah, and it's weird. It's a weird sensation to them, especially if they're like one of the smaller dogs and it's like being done the first couple times. Yeah, and especially like I said, the first few times you do it, they will get more and more used to it as you continue to do it. But the first few times they are going to be like, well, what the heck is going on? What are you doing to me? This is weird. It's normal for them to be a little jumpy, to be confused, be like, what are you doing? Be curious, try to like look back or look back there. A lot of dogs too will try to sit down, especially if you lift the tail up. That's their immediate reaction is sit down. So you might need a lot of times I'll put my knee under their tummies and that will keep them up, especially with those larger dogs. The one thing that you do want to watch out for is aggression and pain. Obviously, aggression, we do not want you getting hurt while trying to help your dog. You can always like try to do some desensitization if that happens, and if that's not working, get with a trainer, and then in the meantime, take your dog to a groomer or a vet to have this done. And then pain, obviously, your dog should not be in pain when this is happening. If your dog is like, yelping in pain or acting like they're in pain, please stop. We do not want anything bad going on when expressing anal glands. So yeah, if they're in pain, go to the vet. If they're aggressive, stop and try desensitization or get with a trainer to help with that. And I have mentioned about anal gland ruptures. They can rupture. It's not very fun. I've actually seen it once, and I actually had it described to me by the senior groomers at the PetSmart that I originally was trained at, and they were like, oh, it's like a second hole beneath the butt. And I'm like, beneath the butthole there's another little hole, and usually it's pretty bloody. And I was like, wait, what? And then I saw it on a dog who came in just for a normal anal gland expression. And I immediately, once I saw it, I immediately took the dog back out and I said, I'm so sorry, I can't do this service because your dog's anal glands are ruptured and it has a second butthole now. So yeah, that's what you will see if it is fully ruptured. If that is the case, go to the vet. That needs to be fixed as soon as possible. Yes, no ruptured anal glands. It is bad. Like I said, I'll try to show a photo. I don't know if YouTube will allow it though, but it's a hole beneath your dog's butthole is what it will look like. Very fun things. But yeah, so that's it for anal glands. Hopefully, I know that this was a shorter video because there's not 8 different types of anal gland expression. There's only 2, and I only can show how to do one of them. Only vets, like I said, really do the internal expression. Yeah, so, but easy enough, I hope. Hopefully everything made lots of sense. Like I said, again, this is probably the topic I get questioned about most often, just because people, they hear about it and they're like, oh, I need to do that immediately, but not every dog needs it. So yeah, just remember, be gentle with your dog's butts. They're a sensitive area. But it is something, if you have a smaller dog, it does need to be done regularly. And you can do it at home, which is good, even though it smells really bad. But yeah, until next time, stay safe out there and have a great day. Tell your dogs that I said hello and give them lots of puppy kisses for me. Bye-bye.